We're gonna try and do like AI for minutes. We don't know how it's gonna work, so I'm just gonna try transcribing this meeting to see.
Laughing.
Well, no. Just will do them. We're gonna try them a couple different ways, but if that's the recording and then that.
Sure.
Okay, you can start anytime.
Okay, so welcome to January 9th meeting of the Tree Council. Full order. Let's start with roll call and then start tests.
Chat, what's that? Initial County. Doherty.
Come on.
Laura Robertson.
Jeff Corbin.
Somebody.
Okay, so I guess we'll start with the minutes for December 12th. So since that's yesterday, we didn't have any changes to minutes.
I have one suggestion on number 79, where it says planting two, I think, exotic trees in there, so we know what we're talking about, because I had to go back and sort of relook at that.
Which line is it?
79, just after the word, just the number 2, just add exotic trees, because that's.
Was that always said 2 exotic trees? I was surprised when it's planting 2 trees, right?
Yeah, no, it's a special, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that word specimen more than exotic. That means different meanings.
We can change it.
Good.
So on line 56, it says celebrating their 25th year anniversary. And I would say, and to mark it, they are planning to host a day of service.
Need the TO.
To mark and then change like to, they would, if they
Mark it
would,
to-
are planning. Yeah, they're planning. Yeah, they plan to host a day of service, yeah. And then Ms. Carey asked if a tree planting project could be created for one of the service projects. They're gonna do several service projects that day. And then down at on line 62, this was just kind of a comment. Chairman Marr mentioned that a block on Berkeley Avenue is sparse of trees, and Ms. Robertson noted that a church on Fulton Road has no trees. And I had made a note last time that we had talked about around Town Hall and the bench in back of the library and trees there. I thought those would be good options, so I thought we should
So we'll add that
capture
one in.
those.
Yep.
And then on 64, I would just change butterfly gardens to pollinator gardens. And then on 73, I just had a question. It says that she noted Laura noted Jamie came to a meeting once. I don't ever remember her coming. I remember Rose Marie coming. Did Jamie come to a meeting?
Rosemary came and actually sat through the whole meeting. I
Right.
think Jamie just came and said hello.
But when Rose Marie was our liaison, she sat through that.
I think she actually sat through a couple of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, but the minutes have to reflect what was said, and I think I said Jamie,
Okay.
so.
Okay.
But actually, sorry, we should probably actually say Jamie Puccioni, town supervisor.
Yes. Yes.
Same with Aaron.
Yes.
I got it.
70. And that was all I had, other than the you had chatted. Yes. I was confused with that.
I have 67. Thing one says Ms. Robertson reported that money has been added, but she is not sure where.
For which line?
Yeah, I guess I thought you weren't sure how much, but we knew it added to the tree.
Oh, yeah, that's true, but not sure.
And it wasn't, which added to somewhere in the tree cutting budget.
Mhm.
It's not that much, yeah. the line 71 is really minor. I think it's a little better. It says Ms. Robertson reported that she added that 40 plus trees, which we planted in 2025. But it's added was that. That's what added. Oh, even smaller for me. But so I read this, it's like line 94. I just need a, maybe we need a comma.
Yeah,
Tyler, comma, I believe it's like that, yeah. Line 96. For the whole paragraph, starting line 95, Chairperson Morris stated he went to local businesses with prizes for the photo contest. It was decided the contest should run from December 16th to Valentine's Day. She noted she will post on the website and send the town email. And so it's located, it's not a simple correction. I think he noted he would post on the website, and then Ms. Robertson will send the town an email blast. That's it. Okay, no changes. Take a motion to approve.
do Tony and then check in second.
Okay, once the privilege of the floor, unless Lulu's gonna come in and say something.
She's ensconced in my office now.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we got to approve? It's okay. It's- New business action, there's nothing in there, should we? When should we talk to this grant?
You can go to-
Okay,
If we wanna. This here, you know, look out for it, there's one thing that no what may be coming, but. Or no, but what do you guys have a. Practice or what, how do you identify or. Inform people or
Yeah.
risks to their trees?
it could be town email blast.
Mhm.
With the gypsy.
Spongy
Spongy balls. We had a presentation about it, about how to deal with it.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this something that's on the same level of that?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about a couple things there. We could invite a DDC forester who could come. Right now, his training was gonna be like kind of wide, but we could focus on the Woolly Adelgid. Or, you know, we've also talked about writing our own articles, posting them and seeing if Viscuna, you know, how, like the historical committee writes articles, it's
Yeah.
called Canadian Flags. And if we wanted to write an article, we could probably do that too. We could post it on our website and see if you know, would publish it.
And I hate to bring this up, did your article ever get published?
Oh, I
Yeah,
never
that's
did.
So
Yeah, you wrote one, oh, a very good one, a long time ago.
I can go dig that one out and that could be our first one. I know it got approved and
we just need to update,
the town supervisor
what we're-
approved it too.
we need to update whatever it was talking about, because I think that that it was referring to could have been something completely different.
Your article is kind of like what the tree council is and what they do. And do you want to get on it? Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to write or anything. Anyone like writing? I can get the information.
You found it in.
Yeah, there's on 2 or 3 trees. You know, and then Carol said she's heard of it
Yeah,
on St. David's.
Us. But this was a number of years ago.
That's neighborhood. On the junction. So that's Dart Share, so that's Oregon?
Yeah, this was another property in Oregon.
I think we don't need to reinvent the wheel on this. There's a lot of I mean, we just need to present information that others have already put forward about it.
Right.
as far as like a your Niskuna kind of length thing, it would only make sense if it were part of a broader thing about tree health.
Right, right.
But I think that it makes sense for us to put that basic information out. Again, my point is, I don't think we need to write it much
Right.
new. We just need to think of what do we want to put.
But I think
Forward.
a article with a headline that's an alert, hey, we discovered there's a pest that's moving askew now. We need to be aware of
That's
that.
still like a paragraph and a half.
Yeah, right.
It's not
Short, yeah,
There are other ones too
yeah.
that have, found here. So do we just focus on the Lily Delegate or do a little bit on your unwanted visitors to this
Yeah, I
unit, you know?
Lash borer and
So I think the only adults are just the new, it's the other ones too, but you're drawing attention to the new.
Earlier season. Increase radiuses. So that in in that order.
I don't think there's a lot, like with the spongy moth, you were able to kind of pick it off and that kind of thing, but
Right.
I don't think with the hemlock, the Asian longhorn beetle and those kinds of things, you can hire somebody to come out and treat your ash tree and those kinds of things, but you're kind of, like, the best thing you could do is to just keep an eye out for it. And sometimes, I mean, I had to cut a tree down.
But sometimes with that Lily Delegate, if you do catch it early, like again, my friends treated for a few years and they seemed to be okay. This must have been, trying to think, I was still working. So 7 or 8 years ago.
Well, I guess that step one would be find out what are the recommendations? What are the things that we can ask the residents to do? Keep an eye out for it. Doesn't so much help if we're also saying it's in this Niskuna because it's already here. If there's something we can ask them to do, then I think it makes sense as well.
Well, I have some, I looked up this form, it's like, I gave some pages to my neighbors. So I can send those around to you guys and then, there's two, Cornell has one set and then there's another from the state. And they say what you can do. What you- The risks are of the different pesticides.
Yeah, I
I
know.
can,
Amanda already found it once at the Glacier Kill, but I was walking there with my friends and a branch had fallen off the hemlock.
I see it.
It was very heavy on the underside. It must have fallen probably from up in the canopy, but it was very, very heavy on the other side, so.
Do we know if they're
Lily Delegate is kind of a slow killer. Like Emerald Ash Borer killed the trees in like 2 or 3 years ago. Lily Delegate, they're hoping because of the cold that maybe the trees, maybe some of them might even be able to make it through, or it takes a long time.
It's like up to 10 years.
Yeah.
sometimes. And
In the
health
south,
of
it's
tree-
much faster, but like I guess in the Catskills, they're hanging on better than I thought they were going to because maybe it's the cold. Have you read that?
Yeah, I know that like it's been moving north as our climate's been warming. So if we have snaps like this, it might sort of knock it back again.
Yeah, keep it cold unless you're walking. So you're
Okay, I'm a big boy. California boy.
Send those pages. See if-
Yeah. Because we can even
What to do.
do things like we do with CAC where you just like write a short paragraph and here's some articles for better reading that we've already found for you.
Something very simple like that.
Yeah.
Let's update yours and get it out because I know I got that fully approved. Maybe we're just holding on to it just date and I need to.
I think we were fully. That will be held on.
I'll be ready for Arbor Day.
We got distracted with the highway superintendent meeting.
Yeah, but-
Can I just ask, what's the traffic to the website though? Like, I mean, what's the percentage of the town residents that actually, so it kind of started with the photo contest. Is there a better way for us to get the information out? Do we
I don't
know
know what the traffic is. I could probably ask our IT person.
Right, or the number of people who actually, like, what's the number of people who sign up for the newsletter?
Um,
The traffic to the webpage that I can consider is not very much. A few people
it-
get. Yeah, so we did have a burst of 13 visits on December 18th.
Photo contest.
We had a message with a photo on social media. The town's Facebook page, probably more people that look at the
Right.
Facebook page than go to
Right.
the website.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the place where you can push it out.
I think they did. I apologize. I actually don't go on the town social media very often. But I can double check. I think that did go out to the social media when we did the email blast, but I'll double check.
The free contest
Mhm.
with the woolly.
Yeah, we can.
That's
Yeah,
that's a
that's
post. I
right.
mean,
Good idea.
that's a social media post.
And I think if we could get them in the Uranus Community,
Yes.
that's another way we could hit a lot of people. So is there a way, I mean, is there a contact or is there someone we can?
Yeah, we have a local person who's assigned to the town desk unit. His name is Ted. Or something like that. I can get his contact information. Like, we invite him to Arbor Day. He's the one that told us those pictures last time.
I mean, I'd reach out to him if that would be
Yeah, he's,
okay.
I mean, he's
Okay.
nice. He usually will run things for Niskuna. That's kind of like the deal. You know, he's a reporter that's assigned to town of Niskuna.
So he works for the design.
He works for the Gazette. They have like certain territories and also town board meetings, but
Yeah.
he'll also come to the event and he's always looking for stories for the Niskuna.
Yeah,
But they always have those little paragraphs about what's going on. It'd be nice to figure out how you get that
yeah,
information
give
in
me his
there.
name, I'll reach out to him.
Okay,
And I'm just looking at the town and just see anything.
Let's see the tree.
Did you see the tree?
so I can just tell you just because I have to go to the town board meetings. Tommy Nikki came and said that our media reaches X number of peoples and his Broken In media reaches like 3 times as many. And he did offer to like get more messages out. So like if we have a good message, like maybe we could reach out to him and say, can you put this out to your people? Because I don't remember what his numbers were, but I do remember him saying that he reached way more people and that he wanted to be more involved with the town. And you know, that he didn't mind, you know, promoting things. Like I'm sure he wouldn't mind promoting the
This is
Yeah.
the-
They're very good.
yeah, he's just
Is he okay to do that? I mean, I just-
so he is trying to do a like a local business I don't remember what you call them, like where they're consortium or something, where they come together. But there's a word for it. I on the blank. But yeah, and he wanted to be like he's been coming to economic development committee meetings and saying that he wants to help. So I think he would be okay to ask him. I don't mind asking him. If we get another post ready, I can reach out to him and see, can you elevate this for us if you so choose?
You haven't put the photo contest on there,
Yeah,
right?
And does he have a bulletin board? Because a lot of people go in there.
Oh, for sure.
I wonder if we could post it.
You went in there.
They don't open till 4.
Oh.
But I did go in there and he wasn't around. They told me to find him after.
Shared it.
I'll go make
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I thought every time we put a news article, it also goes to the website.
Yeah, but you don't see it on
I don't see it on
Okay, so
the
that's nice.
Facebook site.
No, Jean said she's gonna put it on her social media, but maybe. So I'll do another push, if I can, maybe tomorrow to the social media and to see if I can get Tommy to fill out. Yeah.
And then you'll give me the number for this Ted guy
Yeah.
and I'll reach out to him.
Yeah. Yeah, because if he's interested, maybe we can even send him a paragraph about the photo contest.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
With a- with one of the
There are lots of
photo
things,
contests.
Ted.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. If we could get a,
yeah.
because the Arbor Day will be coming up a lot before that.
Save the date. We should probably do it, save the date flyer soon, actually.
And the photo contest winners.
If we could get more submittals, I mean, I don't think we should announce it until we get, but like framing them and putting them up and stuff on it. Yeah.
No, why did you pick February? That's later. I guess we should wait till we get to that on the agenda. To that.
There's like,
Photo.
Any other new business?
yeah, so Laura got an email from Erin about a DEC grant opportunity. And I looked a little bit at that. If we can make it work, I think it'd be exciting. We can get, the funding can include things like equipment up to $5,000 per item. It could include salaries for someone. I was thinking, if you could just, so we can justify the grant. We could buy a watering truck. We could temporarily hire an arborist to help run the thing. But there's two issues of concerns I'm not sure about. One is the grant, the projects involve the project afforestation and restoration, like we're trying to recreate a forest, or a vegetation control where you're having invaders or disease, or deer exposure. And I'm trying to think in this community where we would, I mean, if we want to do afforestation or restoration, would be great, but where would we do that?
I was looking at that. Yeah, so there's a couple things in there. You have to be eligible for the grant.
Yeah.
And we are. But there's actually not that much eligibility for the grant. It's urban areas, but Niskuna by our density is considered an urban area. So I looked and everywhere in Niskuna is eligible.
So I think that our reforestation plan is the fact that we have been unable to replant 100 whatever trees. And so we are looking to reforest our urban forest. We just call Niskuna an urban forest and we are reforesting it.
That's what I was wondering if we could do that. So we can do that. And then my other concern would be stepping on Ray Smith's Oakland Committee eye. If we rent a backhoe and hire an arborist to get people to do the planting, either we would have to do it separate from our department, or we have to ask them to do a lot of work.
I don't think we want to, pull Ray, because we want to work with Ray and get
Right.
a lot of things accomplished in 2025.
Right.
So I think, this is, I don't know when we have this conversation, but I think if we're going to want to start getting trees in the ground, like in late April, we want to go to Ray in the next month or so and say, hey, Ray, this is our goal, 2025, 40+ trees. We'd like to work with your guys starting in late April to start getting some trees in the ground. What do you think? Can we do that? So I don't want
I agree. I don't want to go to the
I
eye.
wanna get-
I'm wondering how we could do the grant in a successful way that doesn't pose a problem.
I think you involve him.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
Well, if you've
That's
got
the-
a watering, or the watering hose or whatever it is that we identify, I mean, that's tremendous right there.
Okay, it would involve him, this team doing a lot of.
Find out what he
planting.
wants. Find out
Because
what
the
help him.
proposal talks about some large, like, the tree density that's looking for us to be high.
Yeah, I think so I like it and I like that Aaron noticed it and sent it to us. I think those are two really good things. I do think that this is meant more for areas that have had logging. And they're trying to reforest and they're trying to, but that may not necessarily be true because it's a dense urban area, but I think that it's possible to create the town as the whole entire forest. This ties into the tree equity score. And there are sections of our town that have lower tree equity scores.
And we want to maintain our Tree City USA
But you're-
designation, and so.
Correct. Your tree equity score is 100 if you have more than 55% forest cover. So there's a number of census blocks in Niskuna that already have a tree equity score of 100. So there is a little bit of a downside of grouping the whole. If we focused on an area that has the lowest tree equity score in our community, a census block, and then that one, of course, I think that's better. And I also didn't understand what you have to do to show ownership of where you're planting the trees in the grant. I didn't get that far. But the easiest thing to do maybe to find a spot in this unit that's maybe struggling. I think you could do an inventory, like if we stop mowing something and it's all buckthorn now, you might be able to get the ability to remove all the buckthorn because there's a lot of emphasis on native and integrity of your forest and monitoring it and having it be the lungs of the world for taking up the carbon out of climate change, is that we might be able to find either a field that we no longer want to mow or a really degraded kind of like buckthorny place that we could rehab. And then maybe also do some streets and stuff that were nearby. The lowest tree equity score census block in this unit is in the high school area, like town hall, high school, GE is our lowest. That's a 92, which isn't very low. We don't get any points. Then we have another one down in Mohawk. Yeah, you can pull it out. You have to make sure it's not aggregated and zoom into the census blocks.
I think the high school buffer between the fields and the neighborhood is all buckthorn.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah,
So if we could take them down and reestablish.
that's our lowest one
the
right now.
buffer.
And then there's more low ones down when you get towards like State Street.
State down here.
So the grant
can
proposal we do,
you put that up there or no?
Oh, yeah, probably can.
Yeah.
Sorry.
the grant proposal is due like March 12th, I think, so it's gonna go quickly, so maybe we could, want to do is, I just wanted to throw it out there, it looks like everyone's interested in doing this, maybe we should get a committee of people who want to work in this, and we'll just, I'll be on the committee, you know, I'll direct it ever, but especially people who have really skills writing grant.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing about it is it's the same agency that puts out the urban forestry grant. And they're not putting an urban forestry grant out this year.
Oh, they aren't.
I don't think so. I think they're doing the core grant this year.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned, this is a little off topic, but the water tank.
Water truck, yeah.
We have the water tank available to us.
Ah.
Do we want it? I have to get back to pick one way or the other,
He seems
because
to
he
be,
built it. I didn't ask him to build it. I asked him to give me pictures and he said, oh, it's just easier to build. Here's one for you if you want. If you don't want it, we could probably use it as a second.
I think you're.
So, you know, we have to put it on the truck.
So
That's all we have to
that
do is
here,
put it on a
yeah,
truck.
we are higher persons of color.
yeah,
But
You
we
mentioned the tornado.
it's gonna make the grant more competitive and it's obviously an area that needs a little work in this
Because that's a focus, obviously, the chair is way higher. That's.
connectivity. But we're still eligible because we're an urban area.
Just up there.
This is our lowest tree score here. This is the town hall sitting like right in the middle of this,
Right, so the vertical line's obviously Balltown Road.
Balltown Road, yep. This is actually the second lowest. I think that's because that's near Union Street. Union Street is this one. I think that's because a lot of the trees were planted first at Union Street, which we've already noticed, and they're starting to die out down there. And then another low one will come by. Yeah, tree equity, it takes into a lot of things into account, but one of the things is, you know, my percentages of minority and low income. So.
So you can see that if you scroll, if you go to the left side and you scroll out, but if you select a quadrant and then you go over here and you scroll,
Oh, down, yes.
then you can see. Right, so this is a good DEI thing, in that our lowest tree equity score is one of our highest persons of color. 48% of the people who live in that census block are people of color. So we say to the grant, we're looking to equalize our access to trees within our town, even though it's 92, it's pretty good. It's unequal within our town, and so we'd like to specifically address that. Do you think that it would, if we went to Ray, or if we phrased it as, this isn't our normal thing, we're doing a targeted push for this particular neighborhood with the grant, this is what we're hiring it for, that maybe it won't seem like we're stepping on his toes so much, but I do think we need to involve them early, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, like two separate tracks. We'll do our normal tree planting with them.
Yep.
But in this particular instance, because of this grant,
Yep.
we could get a bump of leveraging the work and getting some more trees planted in this other area.
Not to maintain whatever's coming down, but to actually try to, make up for a
Catch up.
shortfall.
Yeah.
And
I just hope it wouldn't detract from getting more tree, catching up on the street.
Right,
list.
right.
I
I
don't,
wouldn't want, there you go, well, if we're doing this, we can't be doing that.
well, so I have still not read it and we can have a separate meeting, but
Mhm.
theoretically, when you get a grant though, you're actually gonna go from start to finish.
Right.
And
Yes.
you wouldn't necessarily need the highway department to plant the trees. Like,
Oh,
you should
okay.
say like,
Okay.
here's the reforesting area, here's our contractor, this, here's how much they got. Here's how we'll maintain them.
Also, in the grant, they talked about, supposedly, also talking about you're gonna maintain the trees for 5 to 10 years. At the end of the 5 years, you have to report how many trees survived. So we need to also, part of the proposal, we say, at least we're gonna hire this person to maintain the trees. So we can have an arborist for 5 to 10 years.
Or it's something the highway department does, because they're already chopping down trees right and left all over town, so.
It's true. I was only looking at a little, my first thing always is to see if we're eligible. Because a lot of times, because we don't have
Yeah.
environmental justice areas, we are not.
Mhm.
Because we are an urban area, we are
Yeah.
fully eligible. Our tree scores are high though, but doesn't mean it's not worth trying.
Okay, so who would like to work on this? Other than me.
Well, I'll work on it.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think our first thing should be, we should set up a meeting with Aaron and Ray,
Yes.
you and Tony,
Okay.
and then say, here's what, well, first we should read it.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Here's some of the things we're thinking might work.
And when did you say the application was due?
March. March.
Okay.
March 12th. It's due March 12th, yeah. 2 p.m. Weird time.
You're right.
At a meeting with
Stay away
Ray
from any
to
close
talk
of
about
business
this.
times, right?
We talked about our goals for 2025 with him at that time.
We
Or
can
is that
get him to
separate
sit down at the table. I think it's probably good to talk about that as well.
Invite him to a meeting, or how does that work? If you feed him during the day?
I have invited to him a meeting and he
Yeah.
did come once after I invited him multiple times. But he does seem to be more receptive when we meet with him in the day and I'm taking the time
Yeah.
away
Which is
from
good, but-
his phone.
I'm retired.
Okay, so Tony and I are very free. So never raised. Good.
And if you want to come for. the
I'm
meeting.
retired too. It's fine. Yeah.
Schedule it, post it to the.
Yeah, like maybe we can do a Zoom call before we meet, just to make sure we're good. On the, what we're thinking about the grant.
The three, yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And would you forward a copy of the
Yeah.
plan?
Yeah, I
Yes,
can.
please.
Yep.
So Carol's asking, we've got the water tank.
But yeah, that's another thing we have to ask Ray for.
Yeah, has anybody approached him yet?
What would be his
Oh,
role in the
what?
water tank? Like, just having it mounted on a truck and then driving it around?
Yeah, I don't even think it has to be mounted. I think
It just sits there.
it sits there like in a rack.
Back.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's like that one that they do in Schenectady that drives around and waters all the flowers down there.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
It was Schenectady that
Uh-huh.
this for us.
Ray did let us buy 10 trees. So we have 10 trees coming in early spring from the 2024 budget.
Excellent, excellent. Are we gonna dedicate those to Carol's,
That's what I thought we
Yes.
were asking them
Yes,
for.
yes.
Yeah,
yes,
We haven't bought them
we
already.
bought them.
You know what they are.
They're big.
Big?
They're,
Big trees.
yeah, I mean, they're not like typically big, but they are, like, they just wanted to buy them from Northern so that through their normal channels. It's 3 balloons, I think. I'll have to get it here.
and what's big? What's big?
I mean, they're not, I mean, I think it's a couple
These
things.
are families with kids that are gonna be planting these things.
For too big, Spring Planning Committee would love to take those 10 trees and we'll get them in the ground.
Take those 10 trees.
We'll take them gladly.
Small street trees. They'll be more for your April planting.
We love trees.
Laura had asked Ray for an updated end of 2024 list of trees planted, trees removed list, which I will resort and get
Hey.
back out to you.
That's it.
So question, request 1 has been sent out.
Didn't you need that for the Tree City application?
I need trees removed and tree hours for the tree city. It's not the waiting.
Not the spreadsheet.
Oh.
Spreadsheet,
Okay.
trees planted, I can.
So we have requested the spreadsheet.
I got, somebody asked me, the tree was taken down at Niskuna, but they're on a county road.
Mhm.
So they asked me, they want another tree. They said, well, I'm gonna ask how that works with a county road.
I think they can request it. I think it's good for the county to get requests for street trees. I have struggled immensely with getting them to allow any trees in our right of way. The other thing we can do is plant it right on the property line and pay for it yourself.
So who would we talk to, the county, Nick again?
No, it's county highway, because if you're requesting to be able to plant a tree in the right of way, you go through their highway department. Their code is actually very similar to our code. Tree Council has kind of a relationship with the highway. And, so we, by our relationship, get approval from the highway to plant trees, but in our code, you have to get approval from the highway to plant trees in a public right of way. Same is true for the county. I just went through this actually with a development, and the developer is required to plant trees for the subdivision, and some of them are along the county right of way. And the county would not approve them in the right of way, so we planted them right along the county line. They end up being private trees, but they're almost like public. They're as close to the line as you could possibly get them to be public trees.
It's too bad.
But that's why it's not necessarily a bad thing for people to be reaching out to the county and saying, I want my street trees. That's my experience with them. Because they have, their mandate, they don't like, going on and cleaning them up and maintaining them and things like that. They hire a crew. I mean, you guys it's the same with the state, like Bolton Road. They hire like an Esplende crew. They just go and they just,
I've never seen
Yes.
them plant. I've only seen them take down.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just think nobody's having that conversation with them at a county level. Maybe SKIAC. SKIAC is like the Scary County CACs. They might be having that conversation with them. I have had a hard time with that, but I think it's okay to continue to be asked for trees, especially they are more likely to listen to a property owner than a town employee.
Okay.
But it would be, so like if you just, there's a number of people who work at the Schenectady County Highway Department. It's headed by Paul Sheldon, but there's like Angelo Malillo, Josh Hawley, actually. Remember, he used to work for the town of Niskuna, now works at that department.
Thanks.
Okay,
What do you think, Ray, will be receptive to the water tank? Yeah.
He likes things when they're free because he has such a
Mm.
tight budget and people are always asking and he doesn't have the money. So he, like, when we got the electric landscaping equipment for him, I mean, he did like that. I
Good.
feel like they were fairly resistant to electric landscaping equipment, but when we got it for free, they're like,
The water tank will then require someone in staff to go and doing the watering.
that's the harder thing.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be that they take it, but how it gets integrated into their work routine is the bigger lift.
So you'll bring that up when we meet with them?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
because I should get back one way or the other with Nick at some point.
Well, you sent that email with the nice picture. I could also send that to Aaron and my other heads up and just get their initial thoughts. And then we can follow up.
Yeah, I'd like the town board to know that we're trying to come up with ways
To do things for free.
to do that. Yeah.
So. Yes. Bob. Place them some.
Yeah. And you want me to email you the grant RFP, right? So I'll email you the RFP. And then you can schedule something next week.
I didn't say just, in each grant could be range from 500,000 to 3 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there, I mean, when you look in our area, I can show you the eligibility act. There's, I mean, it's not a massive amount of eligibility. It's US Census designated urban area,
Meaning you're saying that we don't have a lot, there aren't that many places that can qualify to submit.
which is better. Not for the places that can't submit, but better for us.
Yeah.
And it's probably likely because rural areas are probably a lot more folks that designated urban area.
Okay, so I guess we talk about the Mansion Square landscaping.
Yeah, so the planning board is right now looking at an applicant going in right next to Chipotle. You know how there's a building that in Mansion Square that has Chipotle, Metro Mattress, and the I place.
Yeah.
There's a potential new tenant and we're just trying to be, or at least I'm trying to remember that every time we get a new tenant in a commercial place, we want to go look at the landscaping and see if there's opportunities for more trees or if some of them are looking very shabby, so that we're going to be constantly monitoring our commercial landscaping and try and continue to reforest. I myself have not looked at Mansion Square in any way, shape, or form. So I'm just thinking it's probably not the greatest time of year to look. Planning board has a resolution on for Monday with a condition that you guys would walk with the developer of Mansion Square, who happens to be the developer that did such a good job planting at the Niskuna High School headquarters, and see if there's ways that we can add trees or if there's anything that needs to be updated. So it's really just a heads up when if you like Chipotle, so you're down there for any reason, take a look around and then we'll schedule a meeting when he's available and we can look.
Today, there's parking spots.
I was
along
just
there.
saying, there's so much parking. It's
There's
nothing
really
but parking
no
there.
green space that I can even think of.
There's a,
But it's over by the,
looking from Balltown.
oh, yeah, all right.
There's a little lawn, all this.
Yeah, there's some.
It, this,
Yeah.
That's Chipotle right there, though.
no, it's
Wasn't
this
it?
building. Yeah, but I mean, it's.
Oh, I'm
similar.
sorry, yeah.
Yeah, but it is really, I mean, it's similar looking. You could be in front of the Chipotle building. It's not that different.
It's the Chipotle.
But doesn't it kind of look like maybe they lost some trees?
There's a gap there, maybe.
Uh,
With the date, this picture is like.
Yeah,
And Laura, wasn't there something with Panera? Because if we were going over there, at one time there was something.
yeah, we were looking
John's.
right in, yes, Papa John's.
Did that happen?
Papa John's. I think we didn't really identify anything in front of Papa John's.
Of a new tenant potentially near Papa John's, the same building.
Okay.
It's, Dave's Fried Chicken.
Yeah, the owner of. The name's confused. Cummins, which is the side that is Panera. When they got their bank approved, they agreed to plant more trees in that strip. They just haven't planted them yet because it's not the right planting season. But I think they are planning on adding some evergreen up there. But the actual landscaping directly around Papa John's, it had nice beds. All the trees look fine. We didn't have any comments on it specifically.
I was just thinking if we hadn't, you know, and we were over there with Chipotle, it's right across the street, that we should
Well,
look at them.
go ahead and look again because like Linda said, there's a chicken place that wants to go in where the Pure Bar.
Burrito, and then go get.
With the Taco Bell, who's going into that?
That is called Community Bank.
We just got their application now.
If there's any green space over there to drop trees, if it's,
So I don't know if you guys remember looking at it. We did look at that one a little bit, but it ended up being more of a planning board thing. The planning board was really trying hard to get them to rip up parking spaces, add green spaces and more trees. Because you have a very favorable planning board right now. They feel very strongly about the tree planting and really value the tree council's work on these projects. But so they were basically mandating that they rip up parking spaces and plant trees. And they have cross easements on that parking lot. So like Price Chopper has a right to the parking spaces where the Taco Bell was. And like Target, you know, like they have cross easements. So when they go to rip up parking spaces, they have to get releases from all these different businesses. And they were really struggling with a number of the businesses releasing the parking, even though they don't need it. They feel like they need it.
Right.
Community Bank was comfortable saying we don't need it and originally said we'll pull these parking spaces up and then they couldn't get releases on the process.
That's bad.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to go to physical therapy down at Sunnyview and Niskuna, and in the parking lot there, they have removed a lot of pavement and put I mean, it was in the wintertime and all the trees were bare, but I said, gee, in the summertime, it probably looks really nice to have all the trees sprinkled in the parking lot. It really was, I was
We
impressed.
need to
So-
really, when we see these, we really need to start pulling up some of these parking
Yes.
spaces and putting trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The idea that
Yeah.
Price Chopper and Target don't have enough parking, and we need to like venture into the like Balltown Road side of that massive parking lot.
when Price Chopper plows snow, there's a mountain. He had a plan, right? I mean,
I promise you, no one is parking at Community Bank to walk to Price.
Right.
Like that is just not happening. They will stop somewhere else. Like human beings,
And it's
so lazy. Even in Christmas time, I mean, I could have parked that far away from my computer too. But they even showed us that they tried the planning board. They are going to increase their landscaping, but they weren't able to take part. Mansion Square is all one single owner though. They don't have the cross easement problem. So it is an idea if there's a place that we think they could pull up a parking spot with that.
I've seen this gentleman we met,
Yes, John Roth
very nice. He's
Yeah.
very pro tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
did a really good job planting at the, yeah. Yep. So that's just on there for you guys to take a look at and think about, and then we'll be doing, direct work with the owner to John Roth again. on that.
Okay. Budget updates.
Yeah, so I just printed you guys out the final tree planting budget. My formal update on that is, it still did decrease. I couldn't find one that showed, but I believe it had been proposed at 3,000, 3,000 and 11,000. Yeah, under shade trees. So I think, the supervisor, she added $1,000 back into replacement trees after our request. And, the other update I wanted to let you guys know is we did buy 10 trees in 2024 that will hopefully supplement this budget a little bit. And then another thing that we had talked about is planting slightly smaller trees so that the budget goes.
The 10 trees or purchase from Northern.
Northern Nursery.
Have we each year used our full budget?
No, see, this is the,
2022 actual.
that's so in 2022, we spent 2,827 out of that line and 1,500.
The next column is 2023 actual.
This was budgeted for 2024. We don't know the actuals yet because 2024 is
Oh.
closed. It doesn't close until like February. And then
The
this
third
is what they're
column is
budgeting for 2025.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I know. We had this meeting with Bowman Cartman.
2025 in this.
Yeah.
Because
The last column.
Yeah.
it surprises me that 2023, it's 10,057. 2024 was 21,000. We never went up that much, but
But
this is
it's
only,
adopted.
so
That's because, in 2022 and 2023, I think the budget was the same. It was 21,000. But these are actuals. They didn't spend
Oh, okay.
21,000. We just don't have the actuals for 2024 because they're for us.
So they're probably spending it.
Exactly.
I think it's
We're not spending this money, so it's where they say,
Right.
in the budget, right? Doesn't, when we made the meeting, we used to be, we're spending this, the trees weren't getting planted.
Yes, it's like a circular conversation.
right, right.
Yes.
That's why that has to be.
Well, that's why-
All of the money.
That's why it's really good that we bought the 10 trees in 2024 because that'll at least help out.
Yes.
So the budget, you're doing it before, like 10 years back, it was expensive. And, wow.
Yeah, that was when we were doing the analysis.
Yeah.
Far backwards, yeah. It's partly just related to, I mean, it all correlates because we were planting 40 to 60 trees like 7 or 8 years ago.
It's the miscellaneous and contraction.
So that budget item line is when the highway department comes across a tree that they can't take down themselves. They have to hire people, so those trees, sometimes they're overhanging a house. And so they have to get a special guy to come and limb them and take them down carefully and stuff like that. Or they're just too big for their equipment to handle.
Why is that in our budget?
Because this is the tree budget, so when they have to hire an arborist to take down. It's a consultant line, essentially they're hiring a tree company to take down trees that they can't take
So what they spend on that is coming out of.
down. No,
Highway department funds.
right.
So Laura,
They do break them down by category like that. It's actually all general fund. I would imagine general.
just wanted to say, like, if we spend stuff for Arbor Day and stuff, that doesn't come out of any of this. This comes out of,
No, actually Arbor Day comes out of tree planting program. So Arbor Day is typically about $1,000. And it comes out of that 4105. So if you subtract $1,000 from both of those years
You only spent 3 years, so.
on new trees,
Two, yeah.
But we planted one tree.
that's why, yeah. These ones are the ones that, you're working on when you go out and you are replacing the trees and onus queue down. And
so
then
what's
these
the
are the ones.
difference? I'm cut clear on the difference between 5 and 6, the tree planting program versus replacement trees.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a fuzzy line, but replacement trees are when they take a tree down, they put them on the list, and if they can replace the tree, they will take it out of that line.
budget.
Mhm.
They've never done.
And then the tree planting program is for Arbor Day, and it's for putting trees, in
New
parks and
places.
back places and new places, yeah. But I have noticed that they will use the top line for planting trees in the right of way if needed. It's just that we haven't been spending it. But they used to spend them pretty equally, and I think it ended up being that most of the expenses in both of those lines were for replantings. But, yeah, I mean, the budget lines are kind of like, a government has things set for a long time and they just keep using them. Some of this is a long standing setup for the way they do the budget.
So what does it cost us for a tree for nurseries? Any,
It depends
Yeah,
on the
ballpark.
tree.
Yeah.
But the normal size that we get is like about 2 inches caliper. And that ranges from about $270 to like $400.
so it wouldn't take us very long.
it's
Yeah, so what I'm sitting here thinking, well, if we're planting 40 trees, or if that's our goal for 2025. Do we have the budget to pay for that?
So figure the average cost of the tree is about maybe. Oh, okay.
We were gonna try to do smaller.
Yeah. We were gonna try to do some trees. Smaller trees are about 100.
But still 4,000. And for $100 tree, it's still 4,000.
It's very hard to get trees of planting, of right of way planting for $100. I think they range from about 150 to 250 when they're smaller.
So now we can do 40 trees with this budget.
Plus, well, what about 30? Because we're already getting 10. 24.
Didn't you say that Ray said
Who said that?
he might have some wiggle room
Yeah,
if we
he
really,
did
if
say
we
that.
really had the need
He said
that.
when he gets to mid-year, he'll review his consulting budget. If it's okay, he would move. forward.
40 trees. Max. Which is just that high.
And we have 9,000 in each line. It got hacked at COVID.
Let's see back there.
Well, so we spend up to our budget and a little over, and then the next year we get a little more than that.
Yeah,
Next year, a little more than that.
Right,
Why didn't we meet our goal? Because we ran out of money.
yes, yeah, I agree, spend all the money, that should be the number one.
And I think that there's a cost. We should think about whether we would rather plant more trees or plant teeny trees, because planting bigger trees is good for a lot of reasons.
And the highway department likes to plant the big trees. We do not like planting the little trees. I don't know what it is about them. I have just heard it over and over again. They like to see the tree when they're done with it. They don't hit it with a lawnmower. They are like, okay, there it is, and then they move on. I don't know. They like the bigger trees.
I sent a note back to Laura. I want to understand the planting process with Ray, and we don't have to get into it now, but after you stake a tree or a location on Clifton Park, what happens? Ray shows up with the backhoe and they dig it out, they plant the tree. Do they stake it? Do they mulch it? And then we turn the keys over to the homeowner and say, water the tree? Is that pretty much it? Or am I
That's pretty much it.
am I missing
They don't
something?
mulch.
They don't mulch?
No, I don't.
They saw it. I mean, they dirted back in, they
Yeah, the
replaced the
back
dirt.
in. They- on how to take care of it.
No, the highway department doesn't do that.
Jeff
Oh.
did that.
Oh, I got open.
That was me.
They
don't-
walking up and down the
But
street.
yeah, they show up one day, once you stake the hole and the utilities are checked to
Yeah.
the spot, they move mine, right? And then they just showed up, you know, and there was like 6 or 7 guys and
That's inefficient.
I didn't say words.
No, I mean, they tried by the-
There's a ton of guys, yeah, and not, they, only a couple working at once.
They watch
Be
each other.
surprised. You know, and then they get the hole dug and then there's a flatbed truck with 3 or 4 trees on it, they're planting that day.
Yeah.
And they hoist it in and
And then they would stake the
They
tree
stake it.
depending on the size of it. Not all those trees need a stake.
Yeah, they don't always take it. They
Yeah.
take some of
Okay.
them.
But they
All the
don't
ones
mulch,
They take yours.
they don't
all
mulch around the tree.
No.
Keep the lawnmowers away.
Yeah, you need them.
But that's, I think, the thing that we could help with. I mean, this is, you know, the care of the tree, and like I said, maybe even do a follow-up emails with them, you know, how much are you watering your tree? It's been really hot, make sure you go out and water extra this week, and, you know, right, yeah.
Advice, also the things. As soon as planted.
And don't mount, like, in how to do it correctly, don't like mound it up.
That's in the thing we give. them.
Oh, is it? Beautiful. Okay.
I adopted it from what you gave me. Or somebody did.
The one that we did was the commercial,
Oh,
yeah.
It's nice to get.
Mulch must be readily available at Mitchell Town.
Yeah.
Actually,
Hard to start out with.
like, it's not the greatest mulch ever known to mankind. So they chip the trees when they take them down. But like, you know, they chip them all together. So sometimes it has like pine needles and stuff all over. But like, you know, I get them to deliver that mulch for our pollinator garden out there. It's fine.
Ray's guys deliver the mulch.
Yeah, they have
that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just not like, it's not like commercial mulch. It's
It's
literally
fine.
just like
It's
chopped
better
up
than,
tree.
it's better than just plain dirt.
Yeah.
signals to people, oh, hey, there's something planted there. I better not run my lawnmower through there.
So you might be able to get Ray to add that too, put in the tree, put this.
Yeah, and again, it's just
I
some,
did get him to mulch the sycamores. Those are mulched.
Yeah.
So maybe they could add that to their truck.
Bring another land guys out.
The instructions tell the owners not to do weed eater up again. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, the donut. And the watering. It has the one.
That's big.
Yeah.
The water inspect.
Especially when they were planting in the summer.
Yeah, the first round that we did.
Yeah, we need to ask the homeowners if we can have the email addresses so that we can send out just automatic reminders by email or they want email and text or something like that. I think that that would be a good little. Oh, hi. how's your trip?"
Yeah, in an hour, right? We can just do that.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Like a shared Google Calendar with them or something. Let's leverage technology to the max.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. That kind of ties into what we're talking about before. So the 2025 goals, I didn't think we formally adopted them at the last meeting. So I just wanted to see. if
You have a copy of it.
Yeah. I think.
No. Yeah, I gave the copy to
Oh,
Laura.
wait, everybody does?
I didn't get a copy. for
Oh,
everybody
okay.
'cause
Well, you know what, then I'll put it on the meeting for next month and then we'll just double check it and adopt them. I'll put it in the packet.
it reminded me the 3 species of exotic type or whatever.
Yeah, okay, so we can have.
I think you added that to one of the lower goals. I don't know which goal it was.
The specimen trees.
Specimen trees.
Okay, I'll go back to that and then we'll bring them back. I'll actually attach to the packet so you guys can check them. I did have one other thing I wanted to mention to you guys. Drawing a blank on the name of the teacher, but there was a AP geography course at the high school and the high school came up with projects and they learned about zoning and then they actually implement them. One of his group of kids wanted to do a tree planting project. And the teacher's gonna be buying 25 sycamores. I do not know how big they are. Like it was for planting. I'm assuming if you're buying 25, they're probably gonna be like saplings or possibly bare roots. They did think that they would be like a little bigger than that, but you know, they're not 100% sure like where to put them. So I met with them today. They were wonderful. I told them that the tree council is happy to help. They're looking at 3 sort of separate types of areas. It's kind of like synergistic. One of the ones was in the county right of way. So they are going to see if the county would let them plant in the right of way. Another one is on high school property. We can help them plant, but you know, it's kind of up to the high school. And then another one that they were looking at was like Lexington and some of the, maybe along the bike path areas.
Yeah.
Those ones are town owned property. That's very easy. If those are the ones they go with, we can help them mark and then see how big they are. If they're small, they're gonna need stakes with flags and stuff so that we don't mow over them. But I mean, they seem very committed. I really enjoyed meeting with them. And so maybe they'll come meet with you guys, or maybe we'll just help them when they select their project. But
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that'd be great.
yeah,
This helps contribute towards catching up on these street trees that people are waiting for. See if anyone wants sycamore.
if they're big enough. Well, I mean, maybe it wouldn't even matter. Like maybe if, you know, they decide they want to do town right of ways, and we could tell people, the thing with the little guys is you have to water them. So if somebody wanted them as their right of way tree, I mean, they're a great right of way tree. They're very tolerant of urban pollution and they can do it, but they have to be.
Didn't you say Niskuna was one of our areas where we don't have any trees planted at the high school?
Yes,
So.
that's right that's in our lowest equity spot.
So, I mean, that could show that we're increasing the equity score there by doing this to make.
Yeah, so they identified themselves areas they felt were very barren. They had a lot of good ideas, but one of the ones that they noticed was between the parking lot at the high school and Balltown Road. Yeah, there's a drainage area there, but you could probably do sycamores all around the drainage areas, add some shades and sidewalks. You know, like you know, buffer the headlights to the adjacent residences. Definitely a good place to plant trees. They would talk directly to the high school superintendent about that. So I told him to, I don't know if you guys remember Simran and the CSE. She got the school to plant some trees at Iroquois Middle School. I was like, maybe call Simran and see if you can get the contact to get the trees planted. So anyway, they've got a bunch of ideas, but, you know, I volunteered you guys to help them if needed. And it's for students, AP geography, that want to do a project, and it's pretty cool. Yep, they were learning about right of ways and public trees, tree lawns today.
Future planners.
That's what I'm excited.
Nice.
You guys can do it.
Okay. Any open items?
So I do have the, you know, the ones that we talked about at the last meeting. They really haven't been updated. The next step for the property between WRGP and PBS is to schedule a site walk, which I'll try and get to do that. Can you grab them?
They're clean,
Yes.
even though they're in the process of it.
Thank you.
Where there's not been any movement on Rivers Ledge or anything like that. So I think we're really kind of focusing right now on Balltown Road and just, well, Balltown Road's probably gonna be the first one, and then we'll look at Mansion Square in the spring.
Okay. Public outreach, so the winter photo contest, right, we get 3 prizes, we get Uncle Rico's, Knott Street office and Market 32. And then Uncle Rico's and Market 32, both $25. The Knott Street office came up with, yeah. They contacted you. You talked about having a free UPS delivery or something like that, anyway. And so then the ad went out on, email went out maybe on December 12th. We got a bunch of, about 13 hits to the webpage on the 13th, but of course, people are going to wait until they submit their photos. They only get to submit one photo, right? And so we're going to wait. We have no your best shot. But we did get a picture yesterday. So we actually,
Oh,
yeah, so someone did actually go in, submit it. So at least we know it works. I knew it worked. I tried it, but I wanted to see someone else do it. So someone submitted the photo. And so Tony, you're asking why we picked February 14th. That was Carol, you picked that. Denise.
I just looked at the dates, how long we kept the photo contest up from the other times. So it's like,
You have to say,
it
yeah.
was like 8 weeks or
I
so.
mean, if we don't get any snow, I think we can extend the photo time.
yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, brochures, because I'm, you know, get more brochures.
Yeah, or-
I printed it. I can print more. Do you guys want more?
Yeah, can you?
I put one in the library, so there's one thing in
Yeah, I
there.
was gonna. The color.
I jammed the color printer when John was there.
Oh.
Like, we could, like, print one and then wait a couple hours and then print another, but I'll start building them out. Or is it very expensive?
From what was sent,
I printed it at home.
did it work out okay?
Yep.
Okay, I can try that.
Just like print, like select the page so you don't get the, just, I think it was like page 2 or something. You don't want to get the
Oh, yeah.
text and all that. Just the picture, yeah, the picture with the info.
Yeah, the flyer had reached a little farther, and so I was thinking maybe we should do another one that's like a different color to get people printing again. But if it really hasn't been posted very far, then we can probably just use that one again.
If we could get it on the Facebook page, that would.
It's probably gone on the Facebook page. I'm very terrible at, I gotta just do better.
When you talk to the geography students, ask them if they have a photography up there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You should definitely
No,
showcase their good work, their planting. When the students go to plant their trees, that's a Facebook post that here are 4 students from
Right.
teacher so-and-so's class.
But the teacher's buying the trees for them too, which is a lot of his own money.
So,
So,
Do we recognize that it's
Started showing.
Yes.
They're going to the Action Foundation for a grant.
oh yeah.
I think potential.
Is that when you talk
Oh,
to
you
the
did it.
teacher?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the
PTO gives out grants to teachers to do projects like this. So yes, maybe it is his own money, but he does have other ways to get the cash.
It was fun because we just chose sycamores, obviously for our last Arbor Day, so we had written all that cool stuff and
Yeah.
I was telling them some of the stuff about sycamores and they got very excited.
That's what he.
What actually we got so far?
Oh. Energy. Margaret and I were talking a while ago with that new book that's come out, The Service Berry, written by the woman who wrote Reading Sweetgrass. We're thinking there may be some popularity.
The service
with
berry.
Service
Could
berry.
focus on service berry.
So,
So loud. Wasn't
Oh, do they have a bulletin board there? Is that what you open to it? They have a bulletin board there? I don't know if they do.
The open door.
Just looking at different places where we put our. bulletins.
No, it's outside. Those things outside. Illuminated.
Yeah.
What about,
We could
use that electronic thing? Well,
we could use the electronic sign one, like when it gets closer to the end.
yeah.
We could probably put it on Balltown Road and see if we can get your photos. I can ask Matt, but he tends to let some people.
There's 3 Stewart's shops in town.
As long as we don't have water main breaks.
Would you say he used the variable meshing sign to put it up?
Oh, really? Matt is, he always volunteers himself for Arbor Day. He used to be very.
We don't get snowed in.
Yeah, we just, if they're, you know, it's always second.
If we're gonna mount them, we can have the beginning ones displayed at Arbor Day.
Summer.
Well,
I'm not just-
In the past, we did a fall one and a spring one. So now we're thinking that we make sure to get a summer.
Yeah, that'd be insane, sweet. Yeah, that's seasons.
Spring ones are like flowery.
What we call the spring blossom.
But if we get snow, that's when we like push the month.
Yeah, right. Oh, right. Well, maybe we should wait on the blast until it's snow. He said, hey, well, notice how beautiful it is with the still trees. Take your photo. Let's get a photo contest. Okay. Okay, so I guess we start thinking about Arbor Day now. It was Arbor Day that we decide.
Anything this year?
Could,
I love those.
It's a Saturday at the end of.
so you want me to start contacting? We'll do it essentially the same as we've done at other years. Any changes? Same vendors, pretty, or both.
Do we want to do birds of prey or do we want to let a year go by and do somebody else and then come back to them? What do you guys think about that? I do think that having something like the birds of prey is a draw for family.
Yeah.
So if we don't use birds of prey, I think we should do somebody else, but, or just use those guys again there.
North Country Wildlife Rescue does some. They do, they're open for fundraising. They bring different, owls or birds and things like that. They're teachers. But, and it's nice for people to know they can call these guys if they've got a injured
Animal,
animal in the yard.
do they have like mammals and things? Because we've had birds the last couple of years and we'll have it, but fox, isn't that like a
We got the box.
they had a rehabbing fox place?
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
I remember getting my picture taken with it. I don't know what group it was, but.
I don't think.
A lot of people want to volunteer for Arbor Day.
So we would do things on 2 days, right? We do something on Friday, the 25th of April, and then the town wide event is the Saturday morning.
Yeah, so normally we maybe plant our Arbor Day tree on the Friday, the big one, and then we have to bag all the trees, which takes a long time. and then some Saturdays open. So normally you have to block out the afternoon of Friday for the bagging.
If it's-
You're,
It's here, oh yeah,
Seems to work well.
because it gives you the option if it's gonna rain, we can just can put it on the side.
If it is outdoors, usually.
Mhm.
It's not much time.
Yeah.
So this basically the same groups that we've had
I
before,
think they've been great, well, like that.
and we have to think about ordering the trees pretty soon.
Where do we get that from? Okay.
We started with Saratoga, but last time we did Schenectady,
Can
right?
you give us a discount?
Yeah.
I will ask him about that. But we piggyback on their order. You know, how Schenectady County pushes out that flyer and you can get stuff from them. They let us piggyback on their prices, so we just pay exactly what they paid. That's really nice. And he's trying really hard to keep native stuff.
Oh, you said native? Yeah, good.
Originally, he was not.
Oh,
And he received a fair amount of feedback from some master gardeners.
Well, we tried to give him feedback this year. It's the list he sent was kind of disappointing.
Oh, it is? So do you know what's on there?
Yeah. I can find it. It's got like Honey Crisp apples. It's got a lot of berries. It's got plum, American plums. But it's pretty, it's got like several pines. It's got nut spruces, several spruces that aren't native. So it's a pretty, as far as the native criteria goes, it's pretty poor. But if you want a flowering tree or fruit, it's great. And I think that's what they think
People want. They're probably actually going by what people order.
Yeah.
Right.
Looking again.
Did we order some from Saratoga and Schenectady?
We have, yes. And we could do that if.
Yeah, there
it's
might be
next-
a different,
Yeah, Saratoga tends to have a much wider variety. I'm not able to get discounts from them. And usually my dad goes and picks them up, but that's no problem.
I can look up this tenant. We're gonna do the same thing and for our
You guys, for your,
plant
Plant,
sale,
yeah,
we're gonna buy off his top. But I did order 25 service berries at $1 each
Wow.
on our own budget.
yeah.
Sorry, that's what all of his are.
Oh.
You know, the first level that he gives away are, small. I mean, the sycamores are like this, I think last year.
They're 2-year.
Tulip trees were like this, but like the service berries were like this size. He gave away last year.
They're 1 year or 2 year.
Yeah.
The evergreens tend to be 2 year, I've noticed, the other ones. Or sometimes 1 year.
It might be very popular list here as well. It's not gonna be very native.
Okay, we'll have to look at it.
I can,
So we'll start looking at the order. Yeah, maybe we should start that.
So we were ordering small quantities and we had to do 100 quantities.
That's true, we did have to adjust it. He told us we have to order more than 50 if he's not ordering that.
Oh, okay.
We cut down our variety.
Yeah, so that we can
Yeah.
put in the bulk. Yeah. And maybe we don't need to do that because we had too many trees last year. It might be worth it to have the bigger variety.
I think we haven't really assessed why we had such a small return up last year than the previous year.
I think it's part,
I think we had a
The
nice
email
day
blasts
and
are right
people
there.
found different things to do.
yeah,
I still think it's the
I
communication.
think it's the communication.
So I-
Last year, the first year that we had the bad, that we switched to the website and it was bad, that's why.
Last year, it's been this year.
So let's try
The year
the broken
before,
game. Let's see if they can save us.
the year before it was Radiant Young.
Yeah.
And
Oh, we
it
still have line out to the.
Yeah, but it was rainy and yuck, so people didn't do outside
Oh, so
stuff.
they came anyway.
They came to us. Where
Well, it was
it
a
was
great
nice.
place to go on a nice day with your family. And I
Yes.
said, like an
Yeah.
Arbor Day outside would be we talked about whether there were competing tree giveaways in other places. But
But we're at the library.
I remember asking people, nobody.
I think that was our old email pushes really reached a lot of people in our new one.
Is there an activity that they can do during Arbor Day? Can they plant a tree on Arbor Day somewhere on the town property?
It's a trees, long trees.
We've never done something like that before, but we could consider it. Maybe we could have satellite sites.
They're getting a free tree, right? They take that home, they put that in their yard somewhere, and that's great. What if there was a tree planting activity that day,
Mhm.
somewhere?
We have had like a station where there was dirt and you planted a tree seed in a cup. I don't know how, it was messy. I don't know how successful that is either. I think it was tulip tree seeds or
And we
something.
did.
Talba seeds, that's what it was.
And
Good
then we
time
did
seeds.
those tiny little
The
things.
year before that, we did the Kentucky coffee tree, and you have to, like, they're like these huge seeds that used to go through the guts of the megafauna in America, like when they were, woolly mammoths. And so you have to like take a file and actually file in through the outside so that it'll germinate. That was fun.
Worse, because they were like slap, but
They're terrible. Yeah. Filing into the,
I heard somebody with pods
yeah,
from the coffee tree.
they're cool too. Yeah, I like those trees. We could use them again, but
Just wondering.
yeah,
Piggyback on that idea, is there any place in this area that needs something like that? And then kind of like challenge them to be an ambassador, whose tree grows the most in one year, and they have to kind of like come back and make sure it's watered or that type of thing. I mean, is it just to get them all excited about something like that?
They're so tiny, they
Right,
So
but that's by
plant them
getting
in
them
the
invested, right?
what if we did a contest of, if they took a picture of one of the previous years and you showed it to us, they get a little prize. So that we can at least encourage.
I know a number of people who come to me and said, I got this tree in such and such Arbor Day and it's this tall now.
Just a picture of your babies.
So that's a good promo for the 2025 Arbor Days. Jane and her son planted this tree 5 years ago and on Arbor Day, and here it is today. Join us for this year's Arbor Day.
Yeah.
Well, one time we had that activity where they had to go around town and find all the
We
old
can
Arbor
still do
Days.
that.
But I think a picture of the previous trees and they get something if they send us a picture might be.
I think that's a good idea, because if you're so struggling, that possibly is have the Arbor Day tree.
And also there was- for rooms and like that. You sell things, it becomes more of an event. Now,
Do we have a food truck?
Oh, yeah. We should do a food truck. Let's do it. Yeah.
Well, they've broken in, for instance, hot dog wagon around.
Yeah, you can to the farmers market.
Yes,
A couple things.
right.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. All right. We could do a Arbor Day subcommittee,
Yeah,
meeting.
and I'll have a public outreach meeting the next week or so.
okay. So two items, a tree inventory, tree master plan subcommittee.
I have to see the schedule.
And then they,
That's me.
likewise, the tree planting subcommittee.
Yeah. Well, it's a tree.
Correct.
That's good, that's good.
Okay, that brings us to item 8, adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Yes.
All approved? Right,
Okay, this is after the meeting. I've been thinking of things for the guy from Earnest Comuna. The price trapper, I mean, I think that would be, we were gonna give them a